Hi, I'm going to quickly walk you through how to use this bingo game generator. So when you downloaded this product, you probably would have noticed that inside the folder named Mac and PC, there are these 7 files. Now the first 5 files allow you to create bingo boards of different sizes. You have the options of 3x3 with a free space, 3x3, 4x4, 5x5 with a free space, and 5x5. So those are the different sizes that you can create. Then you also have these 2 files over here that allow you to create your calling cards. You can create individual calling cards, or you can create printable calling cards. So I'll be looking at those a bit later. The example I will be doing with you now is using the 3x3 with the free space, but they all work exactly the same. In fact, the calling cards, the process that you'll follow is also exactly the same as it will be for creating your bingo boards as well. Okay, so before you start creating your games, I always recommend working on a copy of the original generator file so that you don't end up overwriting anything and making changes to the original generator, and then you can go back and make changes if you need to the file that contains your contents for your bingo boards. And you won't have to keep on downloading the original generator every time you want to create a new bingo game. Okay, so these are already copies of the originals. So I am going to be creating bingo boards with the size 3x3 with the free space. So I'm going to open that file up. And the first thing I need to do is enable the content so that the generator will work. Okay, so now when you open this up, you'll find that you get this first slide where you have to fill in 2 values. The first value is how many items you want to use when you create your bingo boards. So I'm going to be creating bingo boards with 75 items that will be drawn from and randomly placed on my bingo boards. Then over here you can also fill in a number, and that is a maximum of 100. You can't have more than 100 items. But here, this number you're going to fill in is the number of unique bingo boards that you wish to create. Now here you can put in any number you want. You could put in 1,000 if you wanted to, but obviously the higher the number, the longer it will take to create those bingo boards. So just be aware of that. So there is no limit to the number of bingo boards that you can create. Right, then, because this is the commercial version, you also have 2 options over here. You can make 1 set of bingo boards or 2 sets of bingo boards. The 1 set would just be color or black and white. The 2 sets allows you to make color and black and white versions of each bingo board that you create. Okay, then you also have options where you can create bingo boards that contain text, bingo boards that contain pictures, or that contain caption pictures, or you can also create bingo boards that have a combination of those 3 or 2 of the 3 as well. Okay, so those are the different options that you have available. The example I'm going to be doing with you now is doing 2 sets with caption pictures. So I'm going to go and start my slideshow, because in order to click on any buttons, I have to start the slideshow. I can't click on them in editing mode. It's not going to work. So I start the slideshow, and then I'm going to click on caption pictures under 2 sets, and now it brings me to this screen over here where it says that I've chosen to create a game that has 75 caption pictures. That's based on the number I put in over there, and I chose caption pictures using 2 sets of pictures. So now it's telling me I need to get those pictures ready. So the first thing I need to do is create 2 new folders for my pictures. The place that I put those folders isn't actually that important. I just find that it's easier if everything is together, and that's why I said go to the folder containing this generator file, but it's not really necessary. Okay, so I'm going to create my 2 new folders and add all 75 color pictures to the first folder and all 75 black and white pictures to the second folder. And then I need to make sure that the names of the pictures in the 2 folders match, so that the matching pictures will correspond with each other. That is very important. We want the pictures to correspond with each other so that the captions will all correspond with the correct pictures, and so that the black and white and color picture, black and white and color bingo boards will be duplicates of each other, just different color options. Okay, so once I have got my folders ready, so I've already done that. I've got my folders ready over here. I've got my black and white, and here I've got my color, and in each folder I've got my 75 pictures. And you can see over here in my black and white, I've got these fraction pictures. Now obviously you can use any pictures you want to. I'm just using fractions for this example. And here I've got my color, and you can see that they all correspond. They're all in the same positions in the folders as each other. So 1/2 is first in the black and white folder, and 1/2 is also first in the color folder. So you need to make sure that your pictures correspond. But so long as their names are the same in the color and black and white folders, they should correspond fine. Okay, so once you've got that already, you're then going to go and insert the pictures. So you go to the Insert tab and Pictures, and you're going to select from this device and insert the pictures that you need. Okay, and then once you've done that, once you've got all your pictures inserted, you don't need to worry about moving them around or anything, because the generator will do that for you. You just need to start the slideshow and then go and click on this button to arrange the pictures nicely. Now that is very important for you to do, because the generator needs you to arrange the pictures so that it will then be able to work with them, because when it arranges the pictures, it also renames them so that it knows how to refer to them in future. So you can't skip the step of arranging the pictures. That's very important. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go and insert all of those pictures. So I'm going to go to Pictures, and from this device, and I'll just go to my color folder over there and insert all of those pictures, and then I will go and insert all of my black and white pictures as well. And then, like I said, we're going to start the slideshow and click on Arrange Pictures. And then it puts all of those pictures like this in a table that has space for the text that will go as that'll be the captions for my pictures. So now what I'm going to do is select on there, and I can add my text. So I can go 1/2, 2 halves, and so on. Now I actually want to share a trick with you that I like to use, and that is to actually use Excel to put all of my text in. So I've already got all my text ready over here, because I find that it is much quicker putting text into Excel than it is into a PowerPoint table. I just find putting text into a PowerPoint table to be not very user-friendly. So I much prefer using Excel. So I've already got all of it ready over here. So I'm just going to copy all of that and add it to my table. So if I just press Ctrl-V, that will insert all of that text. And then go to the top over here and do the same thing with the next one. And insert that over there. There are 34 in the first row, in the first column, and then 33 in the next, and if you have all 100, it'll be 33 in the last one as well. So then I've got over here my last column over there, so Ctrl-C, and then go and paste it over here. Okay, so that is the text that I'm going to be using in my tables, or in my bingo boards as my captions. Once I've got all of my text added, I am going to go and create my sample squares for my bingo board. So I start the slideshow and click on the button. And now it is creating all of the samples of what all of the squares could look like in the bingo boards. So I've got my picture with the caption underneath. Now, what you can do now is you can go and change the formatting of the text if you want to. So you can press Ctrl-A, and then you can change the font, you can change the size of the font, so I can make it bigger, I can make it smaller, I can make it bold if I want to, I can make it italics, I can change the color of the font, I can change the alignment of the font if I wanted to. I can also, if I feel like it's maybe a little bit too close to those pictures, I can go to Format Object and Text Options and go to the text box over here, and I can also change the bottom margin to be 0.1 or whatever I want it to be, and that'll move the text up or down by changing the bottom margin. So you can also do that if you want to. So that is how you format that. I'm also going to go and change the formatting for the black and white one. So it's the same. The only thing I actually changed was the margin. So I'm just going to go and do the same thing over here, 0.1. And now it is the same as the color version over there. Okay. So now once I've done that, I can go to the next slide. Now you'll see I have two slides over here. So I've got one for the color bingo boards and one for the black and white bingo boards. And so now I can go and choose the template that I want to use. So the template I'm going to choose by going to the Home tab and clicking on Layout. And then you'll see over here, I've given you a number of templates that you can choose from. So you can choose any one of these templates that you want to use. And there are a number of different options. When you're, in this case, I'm working in the 3x3 with a free space. So they all have stars in the middle for my free spaces, but I have an option of using plain stars or an option of using stars with a smiley face, which is like over there. So if you want to have a cutesy look, you can for younger students, but you also have the option of having no smiley face for the the not so young students, the older students. Okay, so now I am just going to go and pick, I will use that one over there. And then over here, I will just choose the black and white one that corresponds with that. So let me just go and find that quickly. It was over there. So the black and white one is that one. Okay, so you have got a number of different templates that you can choose from. Okay, so once you're happy with the templates you've chosen, you then go to the last slide. And here it just gives you information about what's going to happen when and after you generate your bingo board. So please pay attention to it, because once you've generated your bingo boards, this screen will be gone, so you won't be able to look at it anymore. So while your bingo boards are being generated, the first thing that's going to happen is the file is going to be saved automatically with everything that you've done to it. So all the pictures that you've added, so if I go over here, the pictures that you added, all the text that you added for the captions, all the formatting that you did over here, the template that you chose, everything is going to be saved. This file will be saved in the state that it's in at the moment. Okay, and then slides will be added for the bingo boards. So because I chose to create 30 unique bingo boards using 2 sets, I will end up having 60 bingo boards that will be generated in the end, and that will be, all of those slides will be added. And then the last thing that happens is that all the slides that are not actually bingo boards will then be deleted. So that's this slide and then all of these ones over here. So that is the reason that the file was saved first before any of that happened, so that you would still be able to go back and make changes if you wanted to the original file. So when you have finished generating the bingo boards, I recommend saving it, not just saving it the way you normally would. So don't just press Ctrl S, because then you will overwrite that work in progress file that was saved when the boards were being generated. So I would recommend opening the Save As window, so you can go File, Save As, or you can just go Ctrl Shift S to open up the Save As window, and then you would change the name and choose PowerPoint presentation. You don't need to keep it as a macro enabled presentation anymore, because the macros won't be useful to you anymore. You won't need to use them. Although it doesn't really actually make any difference, because it doesn't affect anybody else. So that is just my recommendation, but you don't really have to do it. Okay, then so once you've saved your game, you can then save it as a PDF or whatever as well if you need to. If you want to go back and make changes to your game, then if you want to just change the design of the game, you will be able to go back into the file that has the bingo boards that were generated, and you can go back and change the layout again if you want to, like we did before, by just selecting the slides that you want to change and then changing the layout of those slides. If you want to change the contents of the bingo boards, you would need to go back to the generator file, this file that we are working in now, that will be saved at the time that the bingo boards were generated. So you would need to go back to that file again and then go and make your changes in that generator file, and then generate the boards again. Okay, so I am now going to go and generate the bingo boards. So I'm going to start the slideshow, so I can click on the button. And now you can see that those bingo boards being added, and the content will be added to those bingo boards as well, all randomly placed. So now you can see over here, I've got my bingo boards. These are the color ones. The first 30 are all color. And then after that, the last 30, from 31 to 60, will be the black and white ones. So this is the first color bingo board. If I click on the first black and white bingo board, you'll see that everything on the color one and the black and white one correspond with each other. They're the exact same contents, just the color and black and white versions of those contents. So over here, that's the last color one and then the last black and white one. Also the same thing, they correspond to each other. Okay, so that is how easy it is to create your bingo board. So I'm just going to quickly show you. So if I go Control Z, just to undo all of that, I'm going to quickly show you what it looks like when you use the different options. So in this case, I showed you the caption pictures. You can also do pictures or text or a combination. So let me show you what it looks like when you do text. So I'm going to go start the slideshow, click on text, and then it looks like this. You just get a slide where you're going to input text. There's obviously nothing about putting pictures in, because that's not what you're choosing to do. So if I go and put in my text over here, so copy that and paste it in here, then copy that and paste it in over here, and then the last one over here. then I can just go and generate my samples. And now you'll see that the text is a little bit too big, so I'm just going to select all of it and make that text smaller. I can change the font obviously as well. I can do whatever formatting changes I want to over there to make sure that I'm happy with how it all looks. And I can also change this. These are the color ones, so I can change that. It does tell you that these are the color ones. I can change that to a different color if I want to. So then over here I can do the same thing and just not change it to color, so that then looks the same over there, just a different color. Okay, and then obviously you can choose a different template and then generate your bingo boards, and it all works the same. Okay, so then if I go, so I already showed you the text now and the caption pictures. Let me show you what it looks like for the plain pictures. So if I click on there, then now it looks exactly the same as it did for the caption pictures. So I'm just going to go and insert my pictures the same as I did before. So insert my color ones first, and then my black and white ones, and then go and arrange my pictures. But now it's going to look a little bit different because I obviously don't need to add any text, so it's not giving me tables to put the text into. And then I will generate my samples like normal, and they will look like this. Now obviously over here there's no text for me to format, so I don't need to worry about that. Okay, and then I would go and choose my template and change and generate the bingo boards again. Now I want to show you what it looks like for the combination option. So when I choose the combination, it now brings up a window asking me to put in how many text items I want to use. So it's telling me, okay, so I've chosen to create bingo boards using 75 items altogether, so I can choose a number from 0 to 75. So if I don't want to have any text items in this set of bingo boards, I would just put a 0 in here. So I could put 0 in there, and then it tells me, okay, I can still choose from 0 to 75 because I'm not using any text items. So then say I'm going to use 34 pictures, then it works out how many caption pictures are left over for me to fill in or to use. So whatever I put in there, it'll then tell me the last thing over here for the caption pictures. It'll tell me how many are left over and how many I can use. Okay, so now because I chose 0, this is now coming up showing me that I have chosen to use no text items. So I'm not going to be able to do anything on that slide, so I go to the next slide. And then I'm going to go and put in, here it's telling me I'm going to be doing 34 pictures altogether, so I'm going to go and put in those 34 pictures. Up to there. Oh, I need to do the color first. And then my black and white pictures. And then I'm going to go and arrange my pictures like normal. And then let me go and do the 41 caption pictures that I'm going to be using. So I'll go and insert my color ones, so from 35 to the end, and black and white ones from 35 to the end, and then I'll go and arrange those pictures. And then I obviously need to go and add my text. So I'm going to go and add that text over there. And then over here, I'll add that text as well. Actually slid in there. Okay, so now I've got all of my captions and my caption pictures and my pictures. So now let me go and generate my samples. And now you can see when I generate my samples, it will create some that are plain pictures. And then after that, I'll have my caption pictures. And again, I can go and format the text of the caption pictures if I want to. I can format the text of individual ones, or I can format the text of all of them together. So whichever ones I select are the ones that the text will be formatted. And then I've got my black and white ones over here as well. Same thing applies. And then again, I would choose my template that I want to use and generate my bingo boards. Let me just show you what it looks like if I don't use 0 for text. So if I use 10 and 20, and then it tells me, okay, I use 10 text, 20 pictures, and I have 45 caption pictures left over. So now obviously it doesn't tell me that I chose not to use any text, so it's giving me a table that I can fill in my text, and it's telling me how many pictures to put in and then how many caption pictures to put in. And so from there everything will obviously work the same again. So that is what it looks like when you are doing the combination option. So you can choose to use all three, a combination of all three types, or you can use a combination of two of the three types. You could even just use the combination all the time and use 0 and 0 for the two that you're not wanting to use. So if you wanted to create all text, you could do combination and then do 0 pictures and 0 caption pictures, and that would work the same as if you were doing just text. But I did put the plain text option, plain pictures and plain caption pictures in, just so that you don't have those extra slides that will then be blank and not used, and you won't have to fill in the number of each item that you want to use. Okay, so that is how you do the bingo boards. So now I just want to quickly go and show you. I'm not going to actually no, let me go and generate that one quickly. So let me just go and create this. So my first 10 items are text, and then I'm going to be putting in 20 pictures. So from 11 to 30, wait, color. From 11 to 30, and black and white, from 11 to 30, and then arrange those. And then I'm going to be putting in from 31 color, from 31 to 75, and then my black and white ones. And arrange those pictures, and then I'll just go and fill in that text quickly. Okay, so I've added all of the text. So now I'm going to go and generate my samples. So I click on there and click on generate samples. And now I obviously don't like how that is all fitting, so I'm just going to change that a little bit so that I'm making 18. So then I'll do the same thing with the black and white ones, also make it 18. And then I'm going to leave the rest of the text as it is. And then I can change my template if I want to. Over here, I will change this to that template so it matches. I'm not sure why I changed back. And then over here, I will just go and generate my bingo boards. Okay, and now you can see that I have got a combination of my pictures and caption pictures over here. Also, it's mixed up. I've also got some text thrown in occasionally because there was less text items that I was putting in. It's obviously going to show up less on the bingo boards. Okay, so that is what it looks like when you create your bingo board. So I'm going to save that, so Control-Shift-S, and save it as a PowerPoint presentation. And I'll just call this Demo Bingo Boards. And now, like I said, it's going to bring up this window asking if you want to save it as a macro-free presentation. I'm going to click yes because I don't need the macros anymore. Okay, so now I'm going to close that. So if I wanted, let me go over here, if I wanted to go back and change the design of my bingo boards without changing any of the contents, I can go back to this file that I just saved now that has the bingo boards in it. And I can just go and change the template by, the easiest way to do it is go to View and Slide Sorter. Then you can see all of them. You can select all the color ones. You can select all of them if you want to. So if I select all of them and go to Layout, I can choose any layout that I want. So say I wanted to use that one over there. It would change all of them to that. And then I can go and change the black and white ones to the corresponding black and white layout like that. So that is a quick, easy way of changing the design. So if you don't want to change the actual contents, then you can do that. You can just go in, select all the slides that you want to change, and change the layout. And that will change them all at the same time, and it's very quick and easy to do. But if you want to change the actual contents, I'm going to save that or close that. I don't need to worry about saving it. If I want to change the actual contents, then I would need to go back to the generator file that I was working in. So that was this one over here. And I would need to then come back here and change the contents like this. So I can't change the contents in these slides over here and then still generate it from there. But what I can do is, if I need to change the text, I can change the text in the sample squares over here. I can also change the text in the sample squares for the captions as well. So if I realize that I made a typo or something, I can just quickly go and make that change. If you need to change any of the actual pictures, you would need to start the process again. So you would need to go and select your thing over here so that you can then put your pictures in again. So you would need to start that whole process again. But you would need to change your template again. But it doesn't take very long to do. So if you do need to change your pictures, then that is what you would need to do. But if you're just needing to change one or two of the text items, then you can just do it by changing it on the sample squares, and then you can just generate your bingo boards again, and it will generate with the fixes that you've made. Okay, so that is how you create your bingo boards and how you can change them if you need to, how you can edit them if you need to. So now let me quickly go and show you the calling cards. So you have two options for the calling cards. You've got the individual calling cards, which are great if you are wanting to create calling cards that you can save as individual pictures, or if you're wanting to use them in a presentation format or so, or something like that, then the individual calling cards are great. And obviously the printable calling cards are best for printing purposes. With the printable ones, you get 10 on a page, whereas the individual ones are obviously 1 per slide. Okay, so I'm going to show you what it looks like on the printable ones first. So I make that big, and then you can see I need to obviously enable the content again. Now this all looks basically exactly the same. Like I said, the process that you will follow when you are doing the calling cards is pretty much exactly the same as the process that you would follow when you're doing the bingo boards. So the only difference is obviously you only have one number to fill in over here, because the number of calling cards will be the same as the number of calling cards. It's not like when you were having different items that were going onto one bingo board. So you only have one number to fill in here. You can have a maximum of 100 calling cards. Okay, but you do have the option of doing 1 set and 2 sets. Again, that's color or black and white, or color and black and white. And same options you had for the bingo boards. You can do text, pictures, caption pictures, or a combination. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you the example with the caption pictures. And I will go, and it's exactly the same thing that is showing up as what I had for the bingo boards, except I forgot to change this. I'm going to quickly change that to 75, and then I will do that again. Okay, so now I'm going to go and put in my pictures. So I'm going to start off with my color pictures. So select all of those and then put in all of my black and white pictures. And then I can arrange it. Okay, and you'll see that it will look exactly the same as it did for the bingo boards. So now I'm just going to go and put all that text in again. So this is also another time where it's useful having it in the Excel table, or Excel, because then you don't have to type it every single time. If you're using the same text on your calling cards as what you used on your bingo boards, then you only have to type it once, and then you can just copy and paste it. So I'm just going to copy that and paste it in, and then over here copy and paste. Okay, so once I have got that ready, I can go and generate my samples. Now the reason I want to show you the caption pictures is because it looks different for the calling cards as it does for the bingo boards, because the calling cards are rectangular like this, so you end up with your picture on the right hand side and the caption on the left hand side. Again, you can go and format the text just like you did with the bingo board. So if I want to format text, I could just select all of it, make it all smaller, make it all bigger. I can also format the text of individual calling cards if I wanted to, by just selecting that particular one. So you can do whatever you feel you need to for the formatting of the text for your calling cards as well. And then once you've done that, just like for the bingo boards, we can go and choose your layout. You've got a few that you can choose from that I've provided for you over here. I will choose the, no, not that one. I will choose this one. Okay, the pastel green, that will match nicely with the bingo boards that I've created. And then once you've done that, once you're happy with the design that you're using, you can then go and generate your calling cards. All of that information is the same as it is for the bingo boards. Okay, and so now your calling cards have been created. Obviously it's not randomized like it was for the bingo boards, because that's not what you need for the calling cards. You just need one of each. And so you have got also a few that are blank here, because I'm only creating 75 calling cards and there are 10 per slide. So obviously here I've got 5 that are blank on this page, and the same thing on the last page of the, there it is, the last page of the black and white. Okay, so that is how you create your printable calling cards. If you wanted to do combination, it works exactly the same as it did for the bingo boards. You'll click on combination, then you'll fill in the numbers that you want of text, pictures, and caption pictures. And everything else works exactly the same as it is for the bingo board as well. Okay, so that's how it works for the calling cards. So now let me go to, for the printable calling cards, now let me go to the individual calling cards over here. So then let me enable that content again, and again it all looks exactly the same in terms of what you've got. It just, the layout is a little bit different because it's a different shape slide, because your calling cards, this is the shape of the calling cards. Okay, so I am going to again do the caption pictures. So I want to have 75 items, and I will do caption pictures. So I'll just be doing the exact same example that I was doing before. So insert pictures from this device and go to my color pictures and insert them. And then I will insert the black and white pictures. And then I will start the slideshow and arrange the pictures. Okay, so now over here again I can put in my text. So I'm going to go and copy it from here again. So Control C and paste it in there. Now, if it doesn't fit nicely, because the font is going to be smaller for it to fit into this table, I just need to make the font smaller so it fits. And then once it is small enough, the table will fit properly. And if I continue making it smaller, it'll still fit properly. So you don't need to worry about making it too small and it doesn't fit. Then you'll end up with your table matching up with the pictures next to it. The captions matching up. Okay, so now I'm going to go and fill in the next one over here. And then make that a little bit smaller. And then the last one over here. And make it a bit smaller so it matches up, so I can make sure that all of my captions match the pictures properly. And then I can go and click on Generate Samples. And again, same thing as I had for the other calling cards. The captions are on the left, the pictures are on the right. And if I was doing just pictures, they would be centered. If I was doing just text, it would also obviously be centered as well. Okay, here I can also change my design. I've got a few templates. The designs match. They are the same as the designs that are in the printable ones. Obviously, you just have 1 per slide instead of 10 per slide. Okay, so I'm going to be using the pastel green. And then I've got my black and white. And then all of this information, again, it's exactly the same. And I will go and generate my calling cards. And then I've got all my calling cards over there. So if you want to see all of them, we can just go to the slide sorter and you can see all of the calling cards that we have just created. And that is how easy it is to create a bingo game using this generator. So as I said, once you know how to create the bingo boards, the calling cards work exactly the same as the bingo boards did. So you'd be able to create the calling cards without any difficulty, and it really goes very, very quickly. Once you know how to use it, it is very, very quick. So I hope that this video has been helpful, and I hope that you will enjoy using this bingo game generator. I hope that it will save you an immense amount of time and that will be very, very useful for you. Have a fantastic day. Goodbye.